So I'm making this just after I finished recording the video that you're about to watch, but I do want to say that this video is not the most positive towards the remake and the anniversary, and I do want to clarify before that video actually starts here. I want the remake to do well. I think Halo needs a win. I think Halo deserves a win. And I hope that if there is constructive feedback being sent to 343/Halo Studios, that they take it and they use it effectively. I'll be honest with you, this video, I don't really do that, and that's my mistake. I'll be honest with you, that's my fault. I could provide a video that is a much more in-depth, constructive criticism as opposed to me just criticizing if people want that. So I will openly say that this video is not constructive at all. It is mostly just my full opinion of the way that it looks now. However, I hope you all enjoyed the video nonetheless. This is one of the best Halo missions ever. It is one of the best speedrun missions of all time. It is just a really great mission, and I feel that this video sort of misrepresents that in the way that I actually feel about this mission, so I do apologize for that. I'm also going to be trying some new sound settings. I saw a comment on a video, I believe 2 days ago now, where my mic was really low, so I'm going to look into that. I'm going to hopefully be able to provide a much better experience in the audio department. Anyway, like I said, I hope you all enjoy this video, and I'll see you all later. And just like that, we are back on some more Halo 1. Can I restart the mission? Does it play the cutscene? Oh, thank God. Okay, good. But we're back on Halo 1. Yesterday, we ended up doing Truth and Reconciliation. I learned how to speedrun that mission, admittedly not very well, but we got there. Truth and Rec might be my favorite mission in this game, and it's also just one of my favorite missions in Halo to begin with, but Silent Cartographer, for me, is where it really starts to kick off, is like, this is a game that is just incredible. Like, there's no other way to describe it. Like, this is just an incredible level. So I mentioned before that I'm not going to be speedrunning this level because I want to give this level what it deserves. And I'm also going to use this as sort of it will be a one-off of me comparing this game to Anniversary and the remake, because this is the level that the remake ended up showing off. So this is actually going to be the first thing that I wanted to mention, but in the original CE graphics and just in general, like the original CE, you'll notice that this Forerunner structure doesn't look new, right? Like, it doesn't look new. It doesn't look like it was made yesterday. It has clear dating on it, from the color to the texture. You could tell that this tide has, over the years, you know, I mean, it's been 100,000 years, has risen and fallen, and you can see clear water damage or like erosion. In the remake and in Anniversary, you don't really see that. And I'll give you this one. I think Anniversary does it not poorly. I mean, you can tell that it's discolored because, like, if you look up, you know, it's a bit more gray. Down here, it's a bit more of the brownish, like, rusted color. So I think Anniversary does it okay, but I think in the original version, you can very clearly see the differences between the two. Obviously, in the remake, it is clearly not the same at all. I think that is blatantly apparent. I don't know if anyone was paying attention in the remake's, like, playtest video thing that they showed off not that long ago. I think maybe a month ago at this point. But the massive hole in the wall revealing this Forerunner metal underneath of the surface is not in that video. This does not exist in CE Remake. It does exist in the Anniversary graphics, and the Anniversary graphics also adds this to the game. Like, if you were to inspect this a little closer, this does not exist in the OG graphics, which I don't understand. I mean, I guess maybe to show off that things aren't what they seem, and like, to a point, you know, I get it and I don't hate it, but I prefer the more subtle approach here. Also, the Anniversary graphics make it a little less of a deep hole in the wall, whereas right here in the OG graphics, it's a deeper hole, and it kind of looks natural, as if you have to take a second look at it to really understand what you're looking at, if that makes sense. And I like the subtleness of it in the original. That is something that the CE Anniversary does not too bad, in my opinion. I just prefer the original for that, whereas the remake just completely gets rid of it. Enfield is still going strong, it seems. This playtest seems to be doing really good, and I am so happy for that. Like I said, Enfield looks great, and actually something I ended up seeing is Enfield runs on an iPhone 11 Pro from, what is that, 6 years ago? That's insane to me, because the fidelity of that game is incredible. All right, so this is our next thing that I wanted to address. When you get into this area here, you'll notice that there's these symbols on the wall, and I believe that it's not explicitly mentioned in this game, but these are religious symbolisms from the Forerunners. These are their own religious symbolisms, and in Anniversary, they don't exist at all. Because they made this wall like a giant light source, this whole area here is lit up, whereas in the original, it's just these two little lights here, and then obviously the lights on the walls over here, but they completely cut this out. And in the remake, it's even worse than Anniversary, and it's really disgusting in my opinion. I don't like that they're doing that. But this room, this little corner here, and this hallway in the remake are actually sized differently due to the addition of sprint. So now we have another instance of this, as you can very clearly tell the difference in. So in the original, you can tell that this is really dirty, it's oxidized, and it doesn't look new. I'm not going to mention the remake and how they do the textures anymore because, I mean, evidently I've said it enough times. It looks brand new in the remake, like it straight up just never was left here for 100,000 years. In the original, as you can tell, once again, there's very clear signs of weathering, oxidation, and in Anniversary, they completely forego that. As you can tell, in Anniversary, it looks pretty much day one new, right? There's no signs of this sort of like rusting. There's no real indicator that this is an old structure. Now, we're going to be getting near another thing that the remake did. So if you've speedran Silent Cartographer in any capacity, you'll know that this is where we usually start the speedrun because this is the fastest way to get a warthog. But if you play through this mission normally, you'll notice that there's things covering this like hole in the wall here, or like this crevice, namely the big ass tree. So this big ass tree covers you from getting to the hatch where the hunters are and where the Covenant are and all that. And in the remake, it just straight up doesn't exist. You could take the warthog up here. One of the original level designers from Halo 1 back in the day replied to the playtest, or I'll call it a demo because it's not a playtest, but the demo gameplay of Halo 1 Remake, they ended up replying to a video and they explicitly mentioned that the tree was there on purpose. It's meant to not, you're not meant to take a warthog up here. It was a very intentional design choice because the warthog can trivialize this very fast. Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure that there are ways of grenading it over the wall and all that, but that's its own thing, and the intention is more important than speedrun tactics and tricks and whatnot. So the next thing that I figured I would bring up is, well, this. So this is the hatch. As you can see, it doesn't have some big ass triangle coming out of it. It doesn't have the PC look to it. You know, it doesn't look like a desktop PC. It looks like a Forerunner structure. So right here is the actual lever system that the hatch uses to open up. And as you can see, it fits, right? Like it's one solid piece. It doesn't have a very complicated look to it, I guess. It looks like it's intended to. Admittedly, at this point of the game, you don't know that it's a hatch. When it opens up and you actually find out what it is, it makes sense. And I think that's the important part, is it makes sense. So the other thing is this structure in Anniversary, sure, the texture is a bit wrong, and I you know, I have my own grievances with the way that the Forerunner structures look in Anniversary, but the remake completely butchers the design of this thing. I mean, shocker, I guess. The remake has butchered multiple different designs. This is one of them. These like spike looking things are pointed up and they look larger, I guess, if that makes sense, and it looks clean, and it's just not it at all. I don't like the remake, if that wasn't obvious enough. And we'll shut down the security. There we go. The gold delete. One thing that I will say, in truth, is I actually don't dislike that cutscene in the remake. I think the lighting is actually really good for it. And I like the appearance that it has, you know? Like, it looks ominous or, like, threatening. I do like it. I'll give you that. I think that is a good cutscene. So this is the part that I was mentioning before. I don't remember in which video. I'm sorry. But obviously you have this encounter with the camo elites, and in the video for the demo of the remake, the guy that is playing the game for the demo has either never played Halo 1 or forgot that the camo elites were here because they straight up just sprint past them. And the only reason that they knew the camo elites were there is because their reticle flips red. The camo elites in obviously CE, you don't get the reticle until they come out of invis. So it's strange to me that they went back on that in the remake and that you can literally just see them at all times because your reticle is going to flip red. So this is another thing that the remake ended up showing off. And I will be the first one to say it. This cutscene in the remake demo that they showed was actually pretty good. This is also just a really good cutscene. I think it's pretty hard to mess this one up. And this also gives us another comparison that I get to make. This is what it looks like in Anniversary. It's very bright, it's very colorful, but the original is much more muted and sort of ominous in a sense. Like you can tell right here especially is there's a bunch of lighting in the Anniversary version. Whereas in the original, there's no light at all. This is a completely dark hallway into a pretty dark room, right? Some more religious symbolism on the wall as well. And then we get into Anniversary and that completely changes. There's almost no dark. All of it is bright. There's also, once again, no religious symbolism on the wall here in Anniversary. Yeah, I mean, look at this lighting and how sort of like ominous it is compared to Anniversary where it's all bright. And because they added lights over here in Anniversary, as you can tell, there's much more lighting coming from this part especially, which I don't particularly like, to be honest with you. I really don't. So here's another difference in lighting, by the way. As you can see, you kind of need the flashlight to actually see what you're looking at, whereas in Anniversary you don't need the flashlight at all. This is all brightly lit in the Anniversary, which again I don't particularly like. I sort of like the mysterious aspect of the lighting in the original. So I know I spent a vast majority of this video kind of just talking a lot of shit on the remake and also the Anniversary mode of this game. I will say this: I do not want the remake to fail. I know that might sound like a bit backward-handed considering that all I did was talk about how it fails, but I don't want it to fail in the sense of I'm preying on its downfall. I think that it should do well, and if it does, I'm happy for Halo Studios / 343. I mean, we know what they are, but I would be very happy for them because I think that they need a win. I think Halo in general needs a win, and I hope they listen to the feedback that people have been providing, not the just shit talking and all that, which admittedly in the current form is a bit hypocritical coming from me, but I do believe that there are ways that the remake could improve. I think that acknowledging some of their faults in the way that they've designed the, like, I guess Forerunner structures is one of them. I think that they could improve upon the level design. I mean, obviously putting the tree back instead of allowing you to take the warthog up there is very important. One thing that I do hope that the remake does is they show how that actually opens. Obviously you kind of jump cut it, but I would like to see that open up and the Pelican actually goes inside, you know? I think that'd be pretty cool. Actually, a fun fact, up at the top of that where the blue lights were and stuff, that actually looks completely different in the original Xbox version of this game. The Master Chief Collection textures are wrong. Those are the textures from the Gearbox port back in 2002. So I'm not going to be doing this mission in a video. If I go through it in full, I'll be honest with you, this mission does drag out a bit. I think it's a very good mission though, don't get me wrong. I think it's a great mission even, but it does drag out a little bit. So I'm not going to make a video on this, but I will be making a video over on Guilty Spark. So that'll be the next time that you see a Halo video from me. That will be another sort of instance where I'm comparing the original to the Anniversary Edition, and I'll give my thoughts and feelings on the way that the Anniversary Edition did that. If you guys did like this video, drop a like down below, and if you want to see some more of this type of content from me, I upload pretty much every single day. Drop a sub. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all later.